Hey, 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 hey. Gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do? And you know why I do it. It is Wednesday morning, September 25th, and it is 3:28 in the AM. And I am reading just for today. And the opening statement on just for today was a ooh-wee for me. You know, and it's a ooh-wee on so many levels. I'm going to tell you how it hit for me. I'm going to tell you the first two levels. The first level, I'm going to deal with me, myself, and I. I said when I started doing this, I was going to keep it real, raw, 100, and autobiographical. And here's the real. You know, it's talking about the fourth step. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the 12 steps, the fourth step is the step that usually takes people out. You know, it's a searching and fearless moral inventory. That's when you check yourself and you look at all the things that you have done, you know. And when I say all the things that you have done, that's in your addiction. And when people look at that and they start examining, you know, the depravity of the disease of addiction, you know, and where it took the individual, you know, it's a lot of work, you know. And I share with my clients that I work the fourth step every day before I go to bed. Was I the best possible human being that I could be? And some days I have to wrestle with some things, and I wrestle with it for days on end. And as of late, you know, I've been wrestling with, you know, just choices and how some of my choices have been lust driven. And I'm not talking about just in the true aspect of lust. I mean, it's like, I want this, you know, am I willing to work for this? What does this bring to my life, you know? And I can say these days, the only thing that I truly want is, I want to say, to be in lockstep with Jesus and the thought process. Now, some days I don't get it right, so I have to look at that. But that is my driving force these days, you know. Yeah, it would be nice to have some other things on that list, but it's not about me. And I've learned that, and I embrace that, and I walk in that, and that is the bottom line for my truth. The truth. The way, the truth. Amen? So, you know, I'm looking at this reading, and it's like, ooh-wee. The second part of the ooh-wee is that, you know, back in the day when I first became a counselor, excuse me, that was in the late 90s. I was new to the game. And, you know, I seen some people who were firmly entrenched in their recovery, but their entrenchment was more ritualistic than it was, I want to say, innate, intrinsic. You know, I know I'm supposed to do this, so I'm going to do this kind of thing. It was scripted and wrote, and, you know, people were reciting slogans and taglines and rhetoric, but it had no oomph behind it, you know. Like I said, I know I'm supposed to do this, so I'm going to do this. You know, it was a legalistic approach to recovery. Not saying that these people didn't stay clean. It was just, you know, too much. You know, I want to hear what recovery means to you, not hear the big book recited. I want to hear how you manage to stay clean, not, well, you know, and hear the 12-step literature. You feel me? I don't want to feel like my life is listening to a meeting. But today, some 20 odd years later in the profession, I see ingratitude all the way across the board. I see people who don't want their life back. They want whatever medication to help them so they can resemble having a life. They still want to do all the things that they did to get them in the predicament. Get this quick, fast, in a hurry fix, and then there's no mindset and no heart in it. So on some levels, we still have the same behavior. I'm doing scripted, rote behaviors, and my heart is not in it. And the reason this hits for me is because a lot of people approach their faith like this. We can talk about Jesus all day long. I have friends who were raised in church. That was the meeting place. That was the social environment when I was a kid. That was the political environment when I was a kid. We rallied at church to learn about certain things. That was the social platform. Church was the social media of the day when I was a kid. Church and beauty shops and barber shops. That's where the folks gathered to convey information. But now we have social media. Everybody has a platform. Everybody has a say. And, what we do is we run around and we ask the same question to 50 people, and we get 50 different answers, and we apply which answers we want to hear. And that's how we approach our faith. Amen. And it's never mind the love and do for others. Church has become a business. The what's in it for me. How can I hold up this church, this banner, to get more? I have to have about 11 armor bearers. And those of you who are raised Baptist know what that is. And those of you who were raised Kojic know what that is. But the armor bearers are the folks who carry the things for the pastor or the ministry. They are the people who make sure that the folks who speak have everything they need. And so it becomes this show as opposed to this no. Amen. So this reading just for today starts off the 4th step, fearing our feelings. So a lot of us run from thing to thing, situation to situation, because we can't sit with self, because we don't like what we see, and because we refuse to work the 4th step. Starts off saying, we may fear that being in touch with our feelings will trigger an overwhelming chain reaction of pain and panic. And I think of a Michael Jackson song. Yes, I said it. A Michael Jackson song for this soundtrack. And she's looking in the mirror. And then the chorus goes, I can't help it if I wanted to. I wouldn't help it if I could. And that's how we approach life. And that is so problematic. We have to do self-work. We have to do self-examination in order to know what character defects drive us. And then we have to ask God, because that's one of the steps. Humbly ask God to remove. But we never get to that place because, here we go. Look how I'm tying this in. We have that amen corner who likes what we do, that are in, the same bag. that pump us up in the elevators to a place of leadership in our wrong. Imagine being the title, the captain of wrong, chief pastor of wrong, director of wrong. And some of us are proudly putting that title on our business cards. Amen. Are you willing to work the fourth step? And I want to say the spiritual fourth step. That moral inventory. That's searching. Moral inventory. See, searching implies, the ing implies it's ongoing. Are you willing to do it?